Okay. Okay, so if you guys don't know what happened, it was days ago. Bobbypoff was streaming, playing Warzone, got banned, but didn't just get like shadow banned, got like permanently banned. Now, JGod made a video on his second channel, which did not have good reception. And I don't know why yet, because I haven't watched his videos, or this video yet. 2,100 likes to 1,300 dislikes. That's horrible. Like for a video, that's like really, really bad. And I don't know why, but I want to watch this video and I'm going to give you my take on the Bobbypoff ban and what I actually think about it and what I think is going on. But I'm going to interject as JGod talks about it, because I think I'm going to have a very different opinion than he does, but I don't know.
So Bobbypoff situation is a little bit crazy. I'll catch some of you guys up to speed for those that don't know what's going on. Pretty much this is somebody who grinds Call of Duty. Probably
he might be the person that plays the most Warzone out of anyone that streams
200 to 300 hours a month. Live streaming over on Twitch. They post on YouTube. They've been grinding the game basically since Blackout, top leaderboard grinder for wins, all this type of stuff. But their account recently got permanently banned. And a lot of people have been kind of messaging me like, hey, what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on this? And it's really hard to get out all the nuance of the conversation.
I think it's pretty straightforward, actually. I think this is probably why people are frustrated with it. So I see chat already talking about the whitelist. I see people talking about all of this stuff. I think it's pretty goddamn straightforward. If someone's cheating, ban the hell out of them. End of story. End of story. There's no other discussion with it. No other story. Now, as far as Bobbypoff goes, if he got permanently banned and isn't back unbanned, he was cheating, right? It would have been addressed on day one. He would have been able to reach out to someone at Activision and be like, hey, I got permanently banned. And they probably responded saying, yeah, dude, you were cheating. Now, I've heard the thing that he said he was accidentally hacking, and I'm assuming JGod's going to get into that and we'll come back to that, but that's bullshit. Okay, that is bull. But
immediately in like 2 sentences. It's really difficult to do. I think there's a lot of information that kind of gets lost, but it really just depends on kind of where you're coming at it from. Clearly he got permanently banned, so there's something going on with the account. So we'll kind of look into that based off kind of what he's saying, what I've heard from Activision on their end, and kind of put together kind of what my general thoughts on this and kind of how this impacts Call of Duty as a whole. For starters, I think there's people that are going to be pro Bobby and like believe his story and think that he kind of was just stupid for sharing his.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say about the whole whitelisting thing. I don't know how that works. Like, I'm not a good enough player to like get banned. From what I understand is there's like a whitelist where if someone gets like say Swag, if he gets reported 100 times in a day, he's probably not going to get banned because they put him on a white list where, yeah, he's probably going to get reported more. Like, even if I just play the game, I'm going to get reported more because people are going to recognize me and be like, oh, he's famous. Let's see if we can get him banned. That kind of thing. It needs to be in the game in a way, but at the same time, maybe there shouldn't be these white pages or whitelist or whatever. And the way that it should be dealt with is people who it happens with have some sort of contact at Activision that they can reach out with and then get manually reviewed quicker, something along those lines, because I guarantee you Bobbypoff is not the only one doing this, whatever he's doing.
Which is a pretty stupid thing to do, and we'll dive a little bit into that. There's some people that are anti-Bobby now. They think he's a piece of trash, cheater, hardcore, rage hack.
Wait, Bams also got banned as well?
But that's another narrative. And then there's people that are kind of like just waiting on an appeal to go through, because obviously if he got permanently banned, he's going to have the chance to appeal to Call of Duty, see if he's getting his account back. And then based off of that, you can make a decision based off that information. Or maybe you find something else out. Maybe Charlie Intel tweets something, or Activision as a whole makes a point about this because this was a partnered streamer with Call of Duty, which that kind of throws that relationship out the window, at least in my opinion, as of right now, unless they overturn that. The facts are that his account did get permanently banned.
Well, Bams has been banned for a while,
generally
so he's
99.9999% of the time, those accounts stay permanently banned, unless there was some kind of accident. I know sometimes people get their accounts stolen. And this happens to a lot of time to console players because people get their account stolen. It gets linked on Steam or Battle.net. And then somebody plays on the account, rage hacking. It has a higher trust score because you played for a long period of time. You built that trust score up, and then they get the account banned. And when the Activision looks into it, they realize that, yeah, your account got stolen, and then they can reverse it. And that's happened plenty of times to people.
I've heard about that, and you know what? That's a pretty good thing that they can reverse that.
It takes a while to fight it, and then eventually they get shadow banned, and it's kind of a horror deal. It's just trouble in general. So the permanent ban is a little bit different than the shadow ban, which we'll talk a little bit about later on, because his alt account also got shadow banned, but we'll get into that. So the story is that he has let people play on his account in the past, and this is specifically to level weapons and camo grind when a new game releases. Normally we have about a month of a new game. So like in this particular case, BO6 comes out on October 25th, and the new season probably is not going to drop to the end of November or the first week of December. So those 4 or 5 weeks, ideally you would get on, load up, level up all your guns, and then you...
This is bull, but I'll let him finish. Camos.
Problem for Bobbypoff is he's a streamer who his audience pretty much only watches it from Battle Royale, Warzone, and Warzone only. So if he switches to do his camo grind, he can lose thousands of dollars in that 5 weeks just by doing camos for both zombies and multiplayer, which, that's a streamer problem, right? That's not a regular person problem.
This is also bull. If he's saying he lets someone use his account to level up his character, that's long done. This was months and months and months ago. He got banned recently. They're not going to ban him for something that happened a year ago. They're going to ban him for things that have been going on recently. That's bull. This is bullshit excuse.
That's something that he's got to worry about and figure out on his own. A lot of streamers will just take the hit, like Metaphor, for example, and he grinds his entire zombies and multiplayer grind for the entirety of that month. And, you kind of do that part. Me, I do the camo grind so I can do my videos, because every video I make on the camo grind, how to get easy gold, how to do the mastery camo, they're making thousands of dollars. So it makes sense for me to do them as fast as possible. So that makes sense. It's good content for me, for my channel, basically. So that works. But in his case, he loses money. So a lot of times what will end up happening is streamers that are only play Warzone and only grind Warzone, they let people jump on their account to grind them out, pay them. They still pay them $500, $1,500, depending on how hard the grind is. It's going to be different from game to game. And generally the bigger streamer who's going to lose the most amount of revenue will pay for these services. Regular casual people can pay for these services as well. And there's all kinds of websites.
This has nothing to do with him getting banned.
Regardless of the
I'm just going to throw that out there. This
Destiny
is
has it. WoW has it, where people essentially grind your account. So when you jump on, all you can do is play the game. You don't have to worry about grinding the specific item. Still weird system. People pay for it though. And people pay insane amount of money for this overall system. Even though there's this like misconception that a lot of streamers would use like an unlock tool, when in reality they would just pay someone so that they're not going to get banned on the account. But it looks like this has been that scenario. In the TOS, it says that you're responsible for what happens on your account, regardless if you're on your account. So by the process of you sharing your account, you better be sharing it with someone trusted, which I think if you're going to let someone grind your camos, you're hoping they're going to be trusted.
Big Jack, I will actually answer that. You said, just play the game. Why would you risk your account for that? I will give you a perfect example. Say the game comes out and Dark Matter is the new camo. If I have a video 2 days after the game comes out, that is the fastest way to get Dark Matter, and I can show it unlocked and I can show you how I did it, that video is going to get millions of views compared to if I do it on the 3rd week. So if I don't have to sleep and I can share my account with someone and they can do it at the same time, the monetary gain of that is exactly why. And yeah, it's a super strange use case, but at the same time, who the hell are you sharing your account with? That's going to be hacking. Also, you're not doing this now anyway, so this is not why he got banned.
In this particular case, he's saying that he let them grind the camos during those months. So he's done this for multiple years, probably going back to Cold War, I would imagine.
Probably, yeah.
When the camos were getting
You're not getting banned on something from a year ago. You're
4
not.
or 5 years, no issue, and then all of a sudden gets hit with the ban. So it's very dumb to share your account because even if you trust someone 100%, there's no such thing. You can't trust that no matter who you're sharing your account with, is going to guaranteed to never have an issue with their account. It's just kind of how it goes. So like I said, it's pretty common for I think a lot of people that just want to get this done, whether they're a casual or they're a streamer who doesn't want to lose that revenue from streaming multiplayer. which their viewer just doesn't want to watch. That's a streamer problem.
We'll be doing it all on stream. I don't care
pay someone
if you guys want to watch it or not. We're going to be doing it together. So
you can just do your regular business as usual with Warzone. His story, whether you agree or disagree with it or not, is at least plausible that that's the case.
No,
especially if you watch his streams for a while, you know that this is something that he has done previous years. Because how do you grind 300 hours?
It is not plausible that that's why he got banned. No.
Warzone.
Also, he has come out since then and said that he got his PC checked, didn't show it, didn't do it live on stream, got his PC checked, and the only software that could have triggered something was using foot pedal software, which he said was to mute text to speech, not text to speech, it was to like push to talk in game. And that came up. But if you know anything about that, a lot of people use that. And I don't. I have a foot pedal over there. It's still in the box. I bought it 3 years ago. Haven't used it because I just haven't played that much Warzone. And a lot of people use that foot pedal to toggle aimbot. So anyway,
the month the game comes out, and then you have all the camos. Just put 2 and 2 together. It's not an unlock tool because those get banned pretty quickly. This is something that makes sense. It's at least plausible, whether or not you agree or disagree. His alt account, which he started playing on, got shadow banned pretty quickly. And there's several reasons for this. New accounts are generally going to have a very low trust score. Okay. This kind of makes it so that they get shadow banned pretty quickly. On top of this, he no longer had his streamer plus or whitelisted, which we'll talk about. And that protects against bad faith actors who can try and stream snipe your lobby or queue snipe. So they get in the same lobby, they die to you, and then they report. Because spam reporting really doesn't work. If you can get multiple reports in different instances, I die to you, go to my gulag, I win my gulag, I go and die again, and then I report you again. Next match, I do the same thing. I can rack up multiple reports, especially.
So this is what we were talking about, the whitelisting.
This happens to a lot of streamers. Sometimes they get friendly stream snipers, which drop them money, and then other times they get negative stream snipers, which go out of the way to ruin
So obviously
the
that's a problem for people who are recognized specifically on COD. Like that could be a problem for me, and I'm not that great at the game.
Instantly. So the shadow ban doesn't really tell us anything, right? Because all it takes is a few reports on a low trusted account, which he's going to get a bunch of those, especially if now the word is out that, oh, he's a cheater or whatever the heck the case is.
So I think this is another reason why people are so mad is whenever Bobby streamed, he would have like a hacker counter and like all of this stuff. And he had multiple videos like reporting hackers and stuff like that. And then he gets exposed for it. So also, he's not unbanned yet.
People are going to go even further out of the way to go ahead and make sure he gets reported. So he gets another shadow ban into a ban maybe at some point. But if he's not cheating on this new account, which if he wasn't cheating on the old account or whatever, you guys are tracking, hopefully. So it kind of comes out, is he actually cheating, right? Here's where the timing seems consistent, where they had a ban, which that could have been triggered by the person who played on his account 6 months ago or whatever, 8 months ago when we had a camo grind for the current games. Or even maybe they go on and they grind the current camos when they add new weapons or something like that. They go out of their way to grind those in zombies and they're not going to play on it. So it could be this thing that's still actively going on. It doesn't have to be right at the launch of the game. Because if the D tier dropped last month, then you're able to have that person go into zombies, get the zombies camos. It's already going to have Borealis or whatever the case is. That can also be done. But nobody will ever know. I mean, you kind of got to take it as face value. If he's saying that, hey, you know what? I've never cheated. I think this is what happened. I shared my account. He's being honest about that portion. That's
not honesty.
Which I don't think he's ever hidden that portion. This particular case just shows that, hey, you know what? He made his bonehead decision to share his account to try and, continue his streaming grind, make money that way. It's boneheaded to share your account, and you're always going to be at risk.
Shark made a great point there. I'm pretty sure if they made a mistake, he would definitely be unbanned by now. He would have been unbanned in like 3 hours after they permanently banned him if he wasn't, right? Like he also has 5 different excuses for it. I completely agree. He would have made, I'll be honest with you guys. I have someone that I can message at Activision. He is a like media. He runs communications between content creators and like the PR team. He's a PR person at Activision. I could message him pretty much at any time of the day. If I ever got like a copyright strike on a video or something like this, I can message him. he will generally answer like within like an hour at the very longest. And he will tell me like, oh, I've sent your copyright claim over to legal or whatever. He's not going to be able to fix it, but he can push it to someone else who can then deal with it. And when it's something like that and someone of that gravity who streams that much every day, it would have been dealt with at the longest within 24 hours.
Something like this happens, and evidently it did. So this should be like a really big red flag for anyone else that does account sharing, because the same thing could potentially happen, especially if you're using the same person.
Is it right away? What do you mean? Is it right? Like the person that I reach out, he doesn't work at Call of Duty. What?
And to grind your camo. So there is that like plausible that the benefit of the doubt. Is he actually cheating? I don't think so. There wasn't really any, like he wasn't one of those people that you consider.
I didn't expect Jaga to just be like, no.
Oh, he's on the list for using 2D radar, soft aim, aimbot, whatever, walls, all these different cheats that people would have or use. He wasn't on anyone's radar, in my opinion. I didn't think that was the case.
I guess I do get what Jay God is saying. He's saying that like he wasn't one of those people that's like ridiculously good at the game, and you had to like.
He's an above average player for sure, but he's definitely not at that competitive level where people think he's legitimately.
Oh, Raidaway said that when he got banned, he was going to talk to someone at Activision. He probably did, and he probably got unbanned.
Cheating. I know after the fact, people are still looking for clips, and they're still not finding anything, but it is what it is. So you kind of got to give him the benefit of the doubt that, hey, maybe he is, or he was really trash, even with the cheats, right? Like, I don't know. You kind of got to make a judgment call based off your own opinion. And maybe that's really all it comes down to. The facts are, still, he got permanently banned. How? We'll never know, because Activision never puts out a statement saying, here is the piece of software you were using. They never do that. That's really where you leave this blanket to do that. But regardless of that, I think the real interesting thing that came out of this is something I referenced earlier, is the whole topic of the whitelist. Hacker hunters have pushed this narrative that if streamer is whitelisted, they're protected and they cannot get banned, even if they were rage hacking. I've heard this claim when I've streamed. People come to the chat and saying, oh yeah, they just allow you to do it. Activision's in on it. It's like, well, if Activision's in on it, why would they ban Bobbypoff? Wouldn't you just keep letting him cheat if that was the case? So clearly the system doesn't work the way they push that narrative. And originally I have a clip where I said, hey,
it's a good question. What the fuck is rage hacking? Where you start hacking because you're mad that you're losing? Isn't that just hacking? That's a good
hacking.
point.
You're still going to get banned, no matter if you're a COD partner, no matter if you have the Streamer Plus, no matter if you're quote unquote whitelisted, does not matter. You will get banned if there detects something in the system that you should be banned for. And that's essentially what's happened, which is kind of a good thing out of this.
I get the whitelisting thing. And I think there's actually probably people who have been reported and then disputed it. And then they looked into it and they're like, this is just a really good player. And then they almost get put on a whitelist too. I get it. I don't think it should be a thing. But like anyone who's like a content creator has someone, most of them have someone to reach out to at Activision if something were to happen.
I know it's kind of unfortunate for Bobbypoff. He'll probably never share his account again. Hopefully. I mean, you would think not.
It's not from sharing his account.
This discourages other people from sharing their accounts. So one of the things that we should talk about is what is the whitelist actually doing? I kind of alluded to a little bit of it, but it's kind of used in two different ways. Number one is that there's specific tournaments that Activision runs, like the World Series of Warzone. And what happens is these are streamed events, and when they log in, they're the only account that can join the lobby. So even if there's a lobby code when you make a custom match, like you guys have probably done or seen in private matches, there's a code that comes up. Nobody except for the people who are whitelisted can use that code to get in the lobby. So if you're just watching, use the code, it's not going to work. It's not going to allow you to join. So that's how they've whitelisted specific accounts, that those are the only ones to get in the lobby. And it just makes that problem.
It could be from using unlock tools. You'd think that Bobby would have just said, I used unlock tools, because that would paint him in a way better light than what he is right now.
Smoother, and they don't have to worry about resetting the lobby in case someone leaks the code or any of those things. Pretty straightforward. There's probably other systems in place, but the other main one is just to protect the players from bad faith actors, which we talked about earlier, where people can get in your lobby, report you. they didn't like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tapman, or one of the other big streamers, Swag, whoever, Booyah, it doesn't matter. If they didn't like you, they can get in your match, report you as a bad faith reporting.
Yeah, this is the thing.
And those could pile up and they would get those people shadow banned. Average person doesn't have to worry about that because they can still get reported and they can still get shadow banned, but they're not having to deal with bad faith reporting where somebody's going out of their way to specifically run into you so that they can report you, get the reports high enough so that you get shadow banned. That's not happening. So that's specifically a streamer issue because their gameplay is visible to people and people either like them or hate them, and they do actions based off of that behavior.
That would actually happen like way more than you'd think. Like I'm like being completely honest about that. That would happen way more than you think.
Of how they sit, you know? So it's one of those. I've had stream snipers, but I've also never been shadow banned. I don't stream that often. And when I do, I'm playing zombies to do some camos or whatever, basic. So pretty good, interesting thing that came out of that. I think one thing that a lot of people would ask me, and I got added on Twitter about this specifically, it says, how does this situation impacted your view on cheating in Warzone and COD? And the truth is it hasn't. I mean, if this changed your opinion on Call of Duty's anti-cheat, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Ricochet in general sucks as an anti-cheat. It does work to some extent because obviously he got banned. And
I think it works better than a lot of people say it does. I will say that. And I think it works when there is a hacker, especially like we saw it in the beta. Most of the time, those people are getting banned in the game that you report them.
When these things happen.
So yeah, is it perfect? No. Is it good?
Kudos to Ricochet,
no,
but
clearly
something happened because something got caught in the system. So it's doing something. Might not be great, but it's doing something, and it caught the scenario, which is good. There's some level of it working, or else how would this happen? Unless all reviews.
Ida Crow, what are you saying? But he was getting popped on his new account before it was shadow banned. What do you mean by that?
Manual, and when they discussed this with him before, I don't know. That just seems a little bit odd to me.
I do not want to get shadow banned. I think
it wasn't smart to share his account, so that should be a disclaimer for anyone going forward that, hey, you probably shouldn't share your account. I know that's common sense for a lot of people. Even if there's a financial component there where you can be able to grind while your camos are getting grinded while you're sleeping, it's not going to be as smart of a move. You got to protect yourself and not do that. If people continue to do it forward, that just opens the door to that risk, which is really not worth it, especially as a streamer. You go to Bobbypoff's stream right now, half the messages are like, oh, I stand with you, Bobby, or the other half is you're a piece of shit. Like,
I think it's moved really far in the way of calling Bobby an actual hacker.
It's either or. There's no in between, and it's kind of bad.
I think it's crazy that he was using a foot pedal. Well, a lot of people do use foot pedals for push to talk. Like a lot of people. That's why I have one. I've never set it up. It's literally still in the package. But that's why I got it, was for like when Warzone 2 came out and you had like the proximity chat. I bought it for that. So that's not unrealistic, but I don't know.
Bad, because then, you know, you kind of open yourself up to that as a content.
I do think that this is way bigger of a problem with streamers than people are letting on. I think there's a lot more that are hacking with, like, for example, foot pedal aimbot than you think.
Creator, and it is what it is. But that could have been prevented with this mistake that he's claiming. If you don't share your account, you don't have this issue. And that's as simple as it goes. But I think it does bring an important conversation about the innocent until proven guilty, or guilty until proven innocent. And I think most of the time I stand on the side of innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, so do I, but it's been long enough.
And in this particular case, Bobby is technically guilty until proven innocent. The permaban came through. Whether he's guilty of actually cheating or not, he's guilty of giving a permanent ban. Yeah, how that happened, we'll never really know the full extent of it. Was it the person that played on his account?
No.
If the appeal goes through and he gets his original account back, then maybe that is the case. Yeah. I'm open to changing my opinion on this. You would have had it back by now. But I think the same holds true if somebody isn't getting permanent banned, then likely they are innocent until proven guilty. And it's a lot more than just, ooh, there's this one sus clip in their 10,000 kills that was sus. No, you got to watch several hours of someone to really develop.
I do not think that it is. Okay. Red Scorpion just says he's talking about COD allowing streamers to cheat. I don't think that's the case. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that people who cheat, especially if you give these cheats to a good player, the people who are incentivized to actually cheat are the ones making money off of it, and they're going to be better players who don't get realized as much because they already look like they have that. So I think there's definitely people who are streaming who have soft aim on. Definitely. Also, people two-boxing, we've talked about this before. When you go and watch your favorite streamer or YouTuber, if you have someone playing solo duos, they are two-boxing. Unless they are showing you getting into the lobby, they are two-boxing. And almost every single person that makes content, the one I know that doesn't is who's immortal. Like Zach, he doesn't two-box. Like I know he doesn't because he always plays in full lobbies. Anyway, anyone that is playing in solo duos is two-boxing. What is two-boxing? It's using like a dummy account to join on and get put into easier lobbies, which is not cheating, but it's just like frowned upon. But I guarantee you, almost everyone you watch for Warzone is doing it. Getting in easier lobbies. Yeah, right away I think got caught doing it during the beta. A lot of people do it. A lot of people do it.
A pattern of cheating.
Harder to recognize in multiplayer than Warzone.
For example, if you get a clip that's sus, you should be reviewing that entire match. Because if somebody's getting 30 to 40 kills, you think they're only cheating on the one kill? No. You got to go back, use some critical thinking, analyze and assess every single kill of those 40 kills within that match. Not the one sus one, the entire one. Because if you're thinking they're cheating within that match, they're cheating through that entire match. So there's going to be a lot of film to focus
unless they're using a foot pedal to toggle on aimbot.
And it should take you several hours to identify this is the case. And I've done this multiple times where maybe there's a sus clip. I go watch the gameplay. I watch it back from different perspectives, looking at it different. And it's like, okay, it was just a fluky clip.
Yeah.
Like they're cheating on the most average clip, like where the average gunfight, but the ones that matter, they're not. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. There's a bunch of people that have been permanently banned in Warzone that people are aware of. Obviously, Wagnificent's probably one of the most notable. Bad Boy Beeman got permanently banned. That's how he started his content with his channel. 5x5 got banned. Call of Shame's main account got permanently banned.
I don't know.
We got Bams. He got permanently banned. He said he was account sharing as well. Torva, Paysetter back in the day. It's Hoppa. Now he's a hacker hunter too. A lot of times, if they're a hacker hunter, usually their previous account got permanently banned. If you look for their original account,
that's actually
exist.
That's
an
hilarious.
aside. We won't get too deep into that. Hopefully this draws a little bit of perspective about the conversation. I think it should be a conversation. Things aren't necessarily cut and dry, and you'll make your opinion how it stands. Like I said, it is what it is. See you on the next one. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.
So obviously he kind of got crapped on for treaters trying to cover for other cheaters. JGod doesn't cheat. If you see permanent ban, those are given the most serious considerations after significant research. It doesn't matter what excuse people give. There are no false permanent bans. Whew. He let Clara play on his account. What JGod responded to that? I don't know. I think it's like Activision's permanent ban is good enough for me. He cheated. JGod liked it. Fair enough. So maybe JGod turned around his statement on it. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear at this point that the permanent ban is a permanent ban. So yeah. I could go through and give you like a list of 100 Warzone creators who all two-box. It's so prevalent. Like to me, it's just not worth it. Like it's just like, I don't care what, if I two-box, I'd be like, yeah, I want some easier lobbies. I'd tell you, but like to me, it's like having another account open, joining on that account. It's just too much work.